Bros, we're gonna be here for a while on this one because the GOAT of Palworld, Blahable, has given us the breakdown on partner skill upgrades. And it's pretty much a guarantee you've been using one or more of your partners wrong this entire time. There's some crazy revelations here, so if you end up enjoying the video, please leave a like, share with your friends, and comment your thoughts down below. And real quick, don't forget to use code Verlisify for 20% off your G Fuel order if you're grinding games or life. So let's start with the mount speed upgrades, because not every mount gets a speed upgrade when you condense the PAL. This is one everyone wanted to know, and surprisingly, not all mounts gain a speed increase from upgrading their partner skill. In fact, most mounts do not get a speed increase at all. The following mounts are the only mounts that gain a speed increase, and it's going to be a % increase based on the level of the PAL or the PAL's ability. And it also has like really weird numbers. We have Direhowl, Nightwing, Arsox, Raindrix, Rayhound, Kitsune, Surfent, Fanglope, Jormuntide, Palladius, and Necromus. So some legendaries actually getting the speed increase. Is this enough of a difference to catch up to Jet? No, it's actually not. So Jet Dragon is twice as fast as Necromus, and the 20% speed increase is going to be something, but it also means upgrading a legendary PAL. So probably nah. And then we can see the numbers on the levels are also weird, because level 2, that first upgrade, is going to be a 10% speed increase, which means you need to do it for the early game Direhowl and Nightwing, because that's going to be a nice little bump. But then the level 3, 12. So you get 2%, 3%, and then 5%, capping out at level 5. There's been rumors that Direhowl is the only mount to receive a speed increase with partner skill levels, and or Direhowl receiving a larger speed increase. Both of these rumors are untrue. So any creator that covered that, just giving you inaccurate information, because that's the bad actor space we're in for all of gaming. Let's go. And then this part is breaking down how the first increase from level 1 to level 2 is the biggest increase. Any mount not listed does not get a speed increase at all. This is the Datamine information. Do not even attempt to argue it. That's why we have the capital letters. This was most likely done by the developers because the mounts that do not receive a speed increase have other partner skill bonuses that do get increased, such as their active skill, mounted logging mining, or mounted damage boost. So yeah, that actually makes sense for the pals that say like, hey, you gain this effect when mounted, and also means like, oh, Jet Dragon just probably gains damage on its missiles and you don't fly faster on it. Got it. Keep in mind that the base movement speed of each mount differs, so just because a mount does not receive a speed increase from the partner skill upgrade does not mean the mount is slow or bad. Jet Dragon does not receive it, but it's still the fastest just because. Next, we have hidden stats, because it's great when the game doesn't tell you what's happening. Player attack boost while mounted, plus the element type swap. This is the first set of interesting hidden stats I found. The mounts that swap the player's damage type to an elemental type also boost the player's attack massively. So it says can be ridden, damage to the player's attack while mounted, and it adds that element, and that's what everyone sees in game. But it really does this. Increases the player's attack by X percentage, and additionally changes the player's damage to that element. So it's just a huge buff. 50 to 100% across all of the pals. So yeah, probably really good to know for boss battles or strong encounters when you're getting a 50% damage increase just for riding Chillet, and then it becomes Dragon, and then you have a super effective matchup into stuff. Cool. Same thing for Pyron and all of these other pals. And unlike the mount speed, you actually have the benefit immediately, and then you get 5% for a little bit of a condense, and then it kind of goes up from there. But like, you don't even have to upgrade the pal. It's just there. 50% damage for catching the boss Chillet and then making the saddle. There's also a hidden player attack boost for the element swapping pals that are not mounts. It's a smaller amount, but it's still free. So you just have Wixen out, converts to fire. I actually wonder if people are utilizing that for like playthroughs and stuff to like accelerate, and then they can also just get a flat 5%, and then if you level it up with just once, you get extra 1% damage. It's min-max. You get the type swap advantage and then some extra stuff. Same thing for all the other pals. Verdash grants the element swap, but then gives you a speed bonus of 20 to 40% instead of an attack increase. This one is at least straightforward. So Kativa goes 50 to 90, gets 10 each, and then all the pals just get 10 each with a higher base starting value. And then we have the pals that give you a drop rate bonus while active, and this is important. So it's a 40 to 80%, and then we just have some speculation here. So drop rate boosting pal must be active for the benefit from this bonus. I believe this stat is a percentage increase to the drop rate of the item. The modified drop rate exceeds 100%. It will roll the drop more than once. So Foxparks has 100% chance to drop 1 leather, but then it's a 40% chance to get another leather. If it was simply boosting the quantity dropped by 1.4x opposed to the boosted drop rate, then I believe the game would have to round to 1 or 2 leather, and then that doesn't match the results. Still more further testing. And also, I don't think it adds like a flat 40%, you know, where it's something like, oh, now I get cake from Lovander 40% of the time guaranteed. If I don't even know what the base rate is, like 5%. If someone's got that data mine, please tell me about it. I haven't seen anything about the exact drop rates for the rarer items. And that means, like, let's say it's 5%. That means 5% plus 40%, or update, like 5% plus the base 40% is going to turn into 7%. So it's not a massive increase, but it is helpful if you're going for like the rare items. Then we have the mounted element boost for certain pals. This bonus is ambiguously explained by the in-game description. This bonus applies to both the mounted pal and the trainer. The trainer has an attack that matches the element type bonus it will get boosted to. The important part though is the pal itself receives the bonus as well, meaning the mounted pal will do 50 to 100% more damage with their attacks that match this type. So that means with these pals, you want to use them as combat mounts because then they get 50 to 100% more damage. But then there's a synergy. Frostallion and Frostallion Noct swap the player's damage to their respective type, just without the increase to attack. But that means the player's attacks benefit from the element boost. So yeah, you can do mounted player damage and mounted pal damage and just double up for both of them because, that's the legendary power. Party buffs. These bonuses apply to any matching pal, and then the buffing pal only needs to be in your party. They stack additively, and it goes pretty crazy. So actually, yeah, it's one of those things where like Ruby gives you fire damage, and it's going to be 10% per Ruby, up to 20% if you hit the level 5. I can only imagine like the grind that will go on for like extreme servers that also have a really good anti-cheat, because like cheating gives an immeasurable advantage, which is obvious because that's how cheating always works. Genning in Palworld, Genning in Pokemon both give an insane advantage that can't be made up for. But in Palworld, like, okay, you have like some kind of crazy PvP server and people are grinding 256 Ruby so they can buff up like one of their fire pals. Even though Ice seems like it, like Foxicle, you want that because then you're getting the super ultra duper mega buff for your Frostallion. That might be the strongest combo in the game, but also Sweepa gets really powerful because it gives 24% attack and defense per. So you're just doubling the attack and defense of Sweepa. So yeah, the additive stacking works like I just said. Making a full team of buffers combined with one strong active pal is the way to make the absolute strongest single pal. Then you have the mounted thing. So yeah, that's what I just said. Like the 4 Foxgle 1 Frostallion is actually like the most insane. There's also a note that Pangolin with 4 Kelpsy could just be the most damage. And then talking about Sweepa and Elizabeth, it's just wrong. So contrary to what the in-game description states, Sweepa and Elizabeth's partner skill has nothing to do with Sweet and B-Guard buffs applied to them. Both Sweepa and Elizabeth have a hidden partner skill that increases their attack as you upgrade it. Now, it's not as insane, so level 2 is probably just like the easy sweet spot where boom, 5% attack, and it's only going to be attack, and then it goes up to 8%. But again, this is also being doubled and having all the other crazy things applied to it, especially with like passive skills and full upgrades, so you can just get to insane numbers. Then we have farming, because that's a passive skill, and you need to make sure you're doing it properly. Interesting thing is that they always retain the minimum, even when leveled up. So Lamball's Find Wool goes from 1 and 1 at level 1 to 1, 2, and then 1, 5 at level 5, and then the Mao. So it's not like you're just only spitting out 50 gold every time if you have a maxed out Mao, and then you have like multiple of them. There could be 10, there could be 50. Vixie is more complicated, can find 4 different items. At level 4 and 5, it starts getting Mega Pal Spheres. Really? So the arrows don't have a crazy amount of value, but you get 4. Wow, actually, yeah, like level 5 Vixie. Kind of nuts. But also, like, by the time you're at that point, alright. Then there's increasing player defense, so Ministing goes from 7 to 14%, Warsack gives you 5, don't even need to upgrade it, neat. Other interesting stats, Rabani's work speed bonus applies to Weapon Workbench and the assemblies, mounted bonus to logging mining only applies at the PAL itself and not the player. Using your pickaxe on the back of a mounted PAL gets no bonus. Alright, Gumas gives player logging, Lifesteal from Lovander and Felbat is 2 to 6% damage dealt. And I felt that recently because I'm doing my no technology, no crafting, no base building, no PAL box playthrough. And I was healing like 5 per hit from the Felbat at like level 20 something. So I was thinking like it was just flat damage. Like it's only healing me flat 5 per. But this makes it a bit more interesting. However, like you need to actually get that full 6%. 6%. Is that worth it? Kind of not really, especially, I don't know. Like you're fighting an enemy with 3k health, which is also like super deep unless you're doing like an alpha pal or a boss, and then you heal for 180. The shower from the T-Fint is just better. Also, there's no difference between Lovander and Felbat, so that's very interesting. Weak spot damage from Robin Quill Van Worm is this, and then you also have to be riding the Van Worm, but Robin Quill is active. Warsack's partner skill is incorrect. Does not make the player's attack fire. It increases fire resistance. Alright. Is it player defense and fire resistance? Alright. Gorilrat's attack bonus while Berserk is a massive increase. Amazing damage scaling at rank 5 with 200% attack. Only applies to shot attack skills, not melee. Someone should try this? Interesting. Oh, I was going to say we don't have all the partner skills like heal and the offensive ones. Nope, there it is. So T-Fin goes from 200 to 400. Who knows what the base Depresso is, and then everything else is just kind of crazy. And there's a multiplier to Daydream's attack, and we tested a while ago in my like 5 Daydream video that it does scale with damage. So you can double that at level 5. And then the power of the skill is crazy because how the damage formula interacts. So it's actually going to be based off of like using a damaging skill. So power of the power skill is the same as any other. These might appear low, but that's because these skills hit very rapidly. Skills with very high power hit once or fire slowly, then doubling the power from level 1 to 5. Damage multipliers, healing is a flat amount. And then I don't know how Depresso works. So while Jet Dragon's looks low, Jet Dragon has a very high attack, and it's like using a 13 power move that rapidly, where it just goes. Lyleen's healing is insane. Relaxaurus is a mini Jet Dragon. Grisbolt has damage, but also like crazy minigun attack speed. We have multipliers on these hits. We can also see the difference between like Life Monk and Tansy, but Tansy's recoil is insane, does double damage of Life Monk that you can aim better. Here's the damage numbers, so again, just like rapid fire hits, 10%, 30%, 60% max, doubled. And then Pangolit's power is kind of nuts, so it's like 25 bullets from a Life Monk all at once, or, you know, multiple hits from a Jet Dragon. And the damage calculation's also weird. Also, it's factoring in the Pal's attack, not your attack. And, like, I wonder, are the damage numbers similar in that way? It's where, like, oh, if I have an assault rifle, you know, that has, like, a 360 attack power, I'm going toot. But I'm only a human, so I have, like, 150 base attack. Therefore, like, have a Pal having 3 times more your attack is, like, 10 times damage because defense scaling is very steep or something. So yeah, that's all kinds of stuff. There's glider numbers, and yeah. So there we go. Every detail about partner skill upgrades. That makes it a guarantee you've been doing something wrong or leaving an optimization on the table. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. Hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.